Hello, viewers. A very good morning to you all. As we had discussed in our previous lecture about estuaries, now this will be the second part of my lecture in which we shall discuss about estuaries and the ecosystem. As I already told you that what are estuaries? Estuaries are the point, it is the point where the fresh water and the ocean water they meet, the river water and the ocean water, wherever they meet, that place and that point is called as estuaries. Here the water is neither very salty nor very less salty. It is less salty, we can say, and hence so you will come to know about the estuaries. In my last lecture I also told you about the different types of estuaries. So now we are discussing further. Now students, about the physico-chemical properties of estuaries. Here you can see the diagram here where it is shown that the wetland pool, salt flat land is there, then salt marshes are there where the soil is mixed with water and then it is become salty. The water is salty, so soil is also become salty. Then the next stage comes mangrove zone. Here the mangrove trees are there, which how can you recognize a mangrove tree? You can see them, you can see their roots oozing out from the soil. You can see the mangrove vegetation over here. Here there are huge trees and their roots are there oozing out from the silt, sand and river banks, so that they can take the oxygen and air from the atmosphere directly. So these are the mangrove vegetation. Then comes the intertidal mudflat zone. Here the vegetation is different, and as you can see in the diagram. And then comes the subtidal zone. Here the subtidal zone is shown where the more of water is there, the depth of the water is more, and then here also the vegetation is different, flora and fauna it also changes over here. This is there, so hence there are different zones and there are different climatic conditions in these different zones, which are making the environment and the organisms to face stressful environment. So the physico-chemical properties in this, the estuaries have large variations in their several parameters and they create stressful environment for organisms. This is the reason that large organisms are less in number in this area than smaller organisms. Estuaries are dominated by soft, muddy combination of silt and clay substrate and is rich in organic matter. When the strong current prevails, the substrate will be sand. If current is calm, the substrate is only fine silt. This will settle down. So, students, that's all. Now, the another characteristic is the temperature. The water temperature in estuaries, except zones, varies markedly because of their shallow depths and large surface area. You can see the graph, and here also you can see the temperature in months. Down it's written months. So temperature variation is different over the year. It heats up and cools down more rapidly under atmospheric conditions, and the reason for this is fresh water input. The surface water have the greatest temperature range and the deeper water have lower temperature range. So here you can see the diagram. The heat from the sun, it comes on the surface area and the cooler water sinks at bottom and warmer water it comes on the surface. So cooler water sinks to the bottom. This is the main thing which I want to tell you. And there are winds also which are blowing. They take different water currents in different places. Now the wave action and its effect. You can clearly see the diagram also. The different types of waves they blow all the variations, that is the salinity, the texture of substrate, temperature, organic matter content, and available oxygen are controlled by wave action and currents. The wave action in estuary is small. As a result, there is deposition of fine sediments and development of rooted plants. So you can see the diagram also. This is shown the deposition of fine sediments as tidal sand, banks, and development of rooted plants. Now the another characteristics we can see also here. Also the diagram is given. There are different structures shown. Freshwater flow is shown, and geomorphology of estuary is also shown here. And there you can also see the currents coming from different direction. You can see the sea state also. The tidal flow here is in this way. So when dense salty seawater flows into an estuary, it has an estuarine current. High tides can create estuarine currents. Salt water is heavier than fresh water, so estuarine currents sink and move near the bottom of the estuary. When less dense fresh water from a river flows into the estuary, it has an anti-estuarine current. Anti-estuarine currents are strongest near the surface of the water. Heated by the sun, anti-estuarine currents are much warmer than estuarine currents. The current velocities and its effect. Current in estuaries are caused primarily by tidal action and river flow. Velocities up to several knots can occur. The highest velocities occur in middle, whereas in the bottom and side bank the velocity is lowest. The erosion and deposition in the estuaries are due to currents, which is a natural cycle. However, in estuaries, deposition exceeds erosion, so there is a net accumulation of silt. During dry part of the year, water movement is severely reduced, leading to stagnation, reduced oxygen content, formation of algal blooms, and incidence of fish kills. So these are the consequences. Now if we talk about turbidity, here the water of estuaries is turbid because of the great number of particulates in suspension in the water. The turbidity is minimum near the mouth and increase with distance inland. The turbidity is minimum near the mouth and increase with the distance inland. The major ecological effect of turbidity is a marked decrease in the penetration of light. Thus, in turn, decreases photosynthesis by phytoplankton and benthic plants, thereby reducing productivity. Here, a type of coastal waterway you can see where natural turbidity is also shown. See, in the tide dominated delta there is high turbidity, in wave dominated delta there is low turbidity, and tide dominated estuary has high turbidity, then wave dominated estuary have low turbidity, then again tidal creeks have high turbidity, and strand plains or coastal lagoons they have low turbidity. Embayments, download river valleys, they also have low natural turbidity. So dear students, I told you about the different characteristics of these estuaries, and in my last turbidity part I showed you different diagrams, and after seeing those diagrams you can clearly understand about the different ecological effect of turbidity and the vegetations. Where the turbidity is more, there is different type of flora and fauna, and wherever there is different type of turbidity or low turbidity, then there again the flora and fauna, they change. You can see the more of greenery over here, because the less particles are present in the water is less turbid, and hence the photosynthesis occurs in the plants, and the light of the sun, it penetrates inside. So I end my lecture over here, students, and so students, be tuned with me. And again, I repeat my name. My name is Dr. Preeti Mathur, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, SPC, Government College, Ajmer. Thank you, students.